This is the Aspire BDC ET-S glassomizer tank. They came out quite a while back. I personally don't use these anymore, but I figured I could make a video showing you guys how to build a coil for one. So this is the actual coil itself. And you can rebuild these, and I'm going to show you how right now. So the best way to do this is to take our coil and put it back in our base. So just screw it in, just like that. And then take a pair of needle nose pliers or something similar and grab a hold of it like that. And then you just kind of give this a wiggle. And you see that? It popped right off. And that will give us access to the actual coil. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the coil back out of the base. And then we have this right here. And this is an older coil, so it's quite dirty. So the next thing you want to do is you want to get a hold of that little pin right there. And actually, you can see that it has some flat edges on it. It don't really matter though, just get a hold of it and wiggle it out like that. And then you got this little rubber grommet. You want to be careful with this. There it is. So we need to take our tweezers, and you can see the coil right there. See the wicks right here sticking out on either side. You just reach in, grab a hold of it, and this inner insulator may come out with it. That's okay. Put it right back down in there. See how there's the short and long ends. You want to make sure that the long ends obviously line up with the sides here. And then we just put it right back down in there. Okay, now we need to build a coil. We're going to need a 5/64 drill bit or the equivalent, about a 4 or 5 inch piece of 28 gauge Canthal. We're simply going to put that over about like that right there. We want to have our legs kind of long so they fit through the bottom, and we're just going to do 10 wraps, as close as we can get. Okay, so I actually have 11 wraps, and that's fine. 10 or 11, it don't matter. You could do 12 if you wanted. Doesn't really make no difference. We'll cut the excess off. Just push that together the best we can there. And our tweezers. Just grab a hold of it like that right there. Then we need to heat it up. Do this for a good 5 to 10 seconds till it's nice and red. Get towards the legs too if you feel like it. I like to do this just to burn off any excess oils or grease or anything like that, and it also tightens up the coil. Be careful because it is hot. We want to take and put it right back on the drill bit. Now let's bring it in close and see what we have. So you should have a coil that looks something similar to that right there. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is take our coil, and we're going to slide it right down through this base and try to line it up with these little cutouts on the side. So I have the coil sitting in there like this, and that's where we want it to sit. Then on the bottom side, we see our legs sticking out, our leads. Now we want to take our little rubber piece here, our little rubber grommet, and that's going to go right over top of whichever leg you choose. You just need to put it over one of them. We'll go ahead and bend this other leg over, and then we just want to fit this back in here. I like that right there. Then we can fold that leg over as well. Now we need our little pin here. Pop that in just like that. And now these legs here on the side, we'll just take and clip these off as close as we possibly can. Same thing on the other side. Now we can pull out our drill bit really quick. You want to make sure that the coil is actually not touching any of the sides in there. And as you can see, mine looks pretty good. But if yours is crooked, what you can do is give it a little bit of a squeeze. And there you go. That'll keep the coil from touching the sides and shorting out. But it shouldn't short out anyway because you have that little liner in there. But it's just good practice to make sure that your coil isn't touching the sides. Alright, so now let's go ahead and proceed with wicking this up. Okay, this isn't going to take very much cotton at all to do this. Okay, we're going to take our cotton wick and we're going to feed it right through the center of this coil. Just like that. Pull it through. Work it back and forth. You can give this a little twist on the end if you want. Just to pull it through there. And we should have it looking about like that right there. Now we want to clip this off and we're going to cut it off even with the base. So right up against this metal. Just like that right there. Same thing on the other side. We need our top cap. And you see we have two little holes right here on the sides of this. We want to line these two holes up with our cotton wicking. So just line it up like that and pop that on. And now unfortunately this is going to require a little bit of extra work here. This is the only bad part about these particular types of coils. What I like to do, take and I put it in a pair of needle nose pliers like this, because we have to get this to seat down onto that, right around that lip right there, or at least right up to it. And the only way to really do this is to put it between some tweezers like this, and then kind of bang it on the end of a desk or something like that. I'm going to save you the trouble of listening to that, and I'll go do that real quick. Okay, so here is the finished coil. There you can see that it's nice and seated on there. Now we need to pop it back into the base. And we're going to test the ohms on it, make sure that it isn't shorted out or anything like that. Now let's check our ohms. 1.67. Got a little bit of movement there. Let me tighten that down some more. So 1.66, 1.67. That'll work. I'm going to take it back off the base, but that's pretty much how you do it right there. All you have to do now is fill this tank with some e-juice and let that coil wick up, and you'll be ready to rock and roll. So that's how to build the Aspire ET-S BDC coils. So for any of you out there that's still using these, I hope this little tutorial helps you. Take care.